to the Autauga football review with Coach Bobby Carr. Coach, we had Patrician this past week. Big win, cold, second round playoff win, pushes to the state championship. Just talk about Patrician and just talk about the game as a whole.
Conditions were bad. It probably worked more into their favor because of what they do offensively. Good teams learn to overcome obstacles, and that was a big obstacle for us. I actually thought we came out and played really well the first half. The big play, the long Hail Mary touchdown from Ty to Dominique before halftime was key. Put us up 34-7 at halftime, and sometimes teams, they get a big lead at halftime, they tend to get a little complacent, and that's kind of what we did the second half. But we ended up holding them off and did what we needed to do, and now we're playing the state championship game.
Coach, talk about a little bit of Hail Mary, but talk about the offense just a little bit. Thought we played really, really well in the first half. I think we clicked on all cylinders. Didn't really have any mistakes in the first half. I think scored every time we got the ball. Got up on them early. And I think playing a wing T team like that, that's kind of a big thing to get up on them because they're not very high-powered. Just talk about the offense and just kind of how they did.
I was kind of on the offense pretty hard last week, but this week for the first half, that's as good as I've seen us play. I thought we did a really good job. Tate did a good job getting our athletes' hands. I thought our O-line did a really good job blocking, probably the best they've done all year. And mixing up the running pass really well, the offense, and kind of kept them off balance and hurt them a little bit with the tempo. So again, as a whole, I think that's as good as our offense played for one half. Hopefully this week we'll play like that for both halves.
Let's go on the defensive side of the ball, Coach. Again, like you said, the conditions kind of favored Patrician. Rainy, cold, wet field. Played really good in the first half, and then kind of second half, we kind of just took, I don't know if it took plays off or kind of what happened, but just talk about the defense and just how they played first half, second half.
Yeah, I thought defensively, first half was kind of like the offense. It wasn't bad at all. I think we made the plays when we had to make the plays. But again, I think both sides of the ball, offense and defense, we got a little complacent. Had the big lead at halftime, let them drive down and score, and then kick the onside kick. And, they had the momentum in the second half for a little while, but, we still found a way to hold them off and make the plays when we had to.
Coach, you talked about them already, the offensive line. We selected them as the player of the week. 5 seniors on the offensive line. Played really, really, really well. Just talk about them and just kind of the growth that they've had, knowing they had to kind of step in and replace the offensive line we had last year, which was a really good offensive line. Just talk about them and just their production just throughout the year.
Yeah, I thought that was a good choice. We stay on the O-line an awful lot. I think the O-line don't get the credit a lot of times they deserve. A lot of times you pick up the paper on the weekends, you read about, this guy or this guy having this many touchdowns, or quarterback throwing this many touchdowns. You never get to read about the O-line, but those guys are the most important guys on the football team. They're very unselfish. They work their tails off every day, and I'm just proud that they continue to work and continue to work and continue to work. And they had some big shoes to fill from last year's O-line to this year, but again, the good thing is we're continuing to get better at the right time.
Good deal. When we come back, we're going to talk with our 5 senior offensive linemen. Welcome to the Autauga Football Review Player of the Week. This is our senior offensive line.
Right tackle, Jackson Holly.
Right guard, Tyler Lewis. Center, Jackson Adams.
Left guard, Peyton Kidd.
Left tackle, Jalen Morrow.
Guys, you got to pick as offensive players of the week this week. We played Patrician, really good game, big win, second round, pushes to the state championship. Just talk about the game with Patrician just for a second.
Yeah, I think we did probably one of our best games of the season as a whole. Offensive lineman kept taking pretty clean at the end of the game, tied 2. I think the pocket formed really good in the whole game. Made some pretty big holes for the running backs, and I think it was a pretty good game.
Talk about the togetherness of the offensive line. I know we have 5 seniors, and knowing you've been playing together for a while, and the expectations of having 5 seniors. Just talk about the togetherness and the camaraderie of this group.
Well, we all have good communication up front, and we all like to be together outside of school, and during school we're all close friends.
Good deal. Let's talk about Tate Palmer, our quarterback. Had a really good game. He's up for player of the week in our area. Just talk about pass blocking, talking about blocking for him and keeping him upright.
At the end of a game, if his jersey's clean, then we all know we did our job. So just make sure he don't get hit on the ground, get it sack on for the loss. That's our job.
All right, let's talk the other side of the offense and run the football. We have Trey Cutler, who's also up for Player of the Week this week in our local paper. We have Brandon Briggs, we have Jay Willis. Jalen, talk about just running the football and the pride of the offensive line of knowing that we can run the football.
We take a lot of pride when it comes to the offensive line. We like to make the big holes, so I run it back and score for a touchdown.
Good deal. Guys, last thing, I'll let you go. We have Escambia coming up. We finally made it to the state championship game playing them. This is actually our 4th year playing them in a row. Talk about them and what you've seen on film.
You know, Escambia is our 4th year playing. They've always been real physical as a whole football team. This year, their line, they're pretty good size. They've got one real big D tackle. I think they're real physical. It's going to be a tough game, but I think we can pull it out.
Last thing, I'm going to let you go. Tyler, what are some keys or one key to the game that we have to have as an offensive line group to be successful and to win the state championship?
Well, one, we have to keep Tay off the ground. We have to keep him safe. We have to make big holes for our running backs. We gotta be perfect in everything that we do. We gotta do the little things right and just get our keys right, and I think we'll be successful all game long.
Good deal. This is the senior offensive line player of the week. Welcome back. That was our 5 senior offensive linemen. Coach, let's go to the state championship. State championship week, we play Escambia again. A team that we know a lot about. This is our 4th straight year playing them in the state championship. I think the 5th time we played them so far, just because they've been in our, maybe 6th time, because they've been in our region the past 2 years ago. Just talk about them and kind of what we've seen on film and the challenge it's going to be going down to Troy and playing them for a state championship.
Well, they look like we do in a lot of areas, especially on the skill end. They got some skilled guys that can run. You know, we're just talking about the O-line, the challenges. You know, hopefully we can control that and mix up the run and pass. But again, playing those guys 6 times in 4 years, when you play a team that many times over the last few years, we all kind of know a little more about each other than we would. Most teams will play on Friday night. I mean, you know. So again, going into the game, they probably know just about everything there is to know about us, and we feel the same way about them. So it's going to come down to executing and making plays, and that's on the guys. I think we got a good game plan for both sides of the ball, including special teams and so forth. So, but you know, when we kick off, it's on the players. They're the ones that got to go out there and execute and make it happen. You know, but having 19 seniors on this team, I think those guys will find a way to be standing at the end of the day.
Good deal. Just a couple announcements. Thank you for everybody who participated in our gun raffle. That was a big success for us and our football program. Also, to all of our fans, please come out on Friday. The game is Friday, 3:30 in Troy at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Coach, let's go get this win to another state championship.
Sounds good.
Go Generals.